Well, welcome everyone that's joined us. I'm just going to wait one more minute and let's let people log on, and then we'll get started in about 30 seconds or so. All right, we're gonna get started now. So I'd like to welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us. This is the second day of our week-long road show, LSO Roadshow, across Ontario. Today we are in our nation's capital of Ottawa. So thank you all for taking time and joining us this morning. And happy National Biotech Week to everyone. Today's session is sponsored by U of T Scarborough Arts and Science Co-op program, a great partner and member of LSO. So thank you very much to the U of T Scarborough Co-op program. We really appreciate the support. They are one of our exhibitors on our exhibitor booth, which is open on the FeedLoop platform. So take some time to check that out. Go visit them. You can message them through the platform. Great organization. So thank you to them. Today we have Kim Ryall, who's the Senior Sector Strategist with Life Sciences with Invest Ottawa. Kim's full bio is available again on the FeedLoop platform, so you can check out all the details about Kim and his expertise. I had the pleasure of meeting with Kim. It seems like a lifetime ago, Kim, because it was pre-pandemic, but I got an opportunity to visit him in Ottawa at the Invest Ottawa facility. Really stunning facility, state-of-the-art, really forward-thinking, great companies. You could really feel the buzz and the entrepreneur spirit within that facility. So I'm excited to have Kim tell us a little bit about what's happening in life sciences in the Ottawa cluster. And with that, Kim, I'm going to hand it off to you.
Thank you, Jason, for the introduction. So good morning. The purpose of my presentation is to give an overview of the life science sector in Ottawa. So before I begin my presentation, I want to give you a brief description of services that Invest Ottawa provides to companies and entrepreneurs. So as an economic agency for the city of Ottawa, Invest Ottawa has two main functions. The first one is to support local companies and entrepreneurs, and the second function is to attract foreign investment in the region. We provide numerous services to companies. For example, we have a venture development team that manages an accelerator program which offer early stage companies access to mentors specialized in different areas, for example, in human resources, finance, operational. There are approximately 52 companies in the program, including 10 companies that are in the life science sector. The venture development team manage also a pre-accelerator program, which is a 10-week course for entrepreneurs that want to start a business and to learn a bit different concept about how to set up a company. And also we have a global expansion team, which I'm part of it. And our goal is to, one of the goals is to attract foreign investment in the region, and also to support local companies to grow and find business abroad, for example. And I just want to mention also that we have a talent team that help find specialists, or say for local companies, and also to attract those talent in the region. And we have also a market research team that provide different, like the name says, market research to our clients. So the agenda for my presentation will be as follows. So it will be divided in 5 sections. So first, I will give you an overview of the city of Ottawa as a tech hub. Second, I will give you a brief snapshot of the life science sector. And third, I will describe the innovation landscape in life sciences. And that will be followed by the 4th section, where I will highlight the key area of strengths in biopharmaceutical, medical devices, and digital health. And I will conclude my presentation on highlighting some innovation in the region to address COVID-19. So, as the capital of Canada, there's a strong presence, of course, of the federal government in Ottawa. However, there's a lot of people that don't realize that for 3 decades, Ottawa has been a global leader in telecommunication technology. There are more than 77,000 people working in information and communication technologies, and Ottawa is home to approximately 1,750 knowledge-based companies. And just for some people, if they're not aware of where Ottawa is situated, we could say that Ottawa is a gateway for North America. We could see from a flight of 2 hours, we could reach basically 50% of the North America population. It takes 1 hour or 1 hour and a half to go to Boston, for example. So we're very near to the different hubs near in North America. So Ottawa is number 2 in North America and tech talent concentration. So we have 9.9% of the City Ontario forces are in that field, which is just second behind San Francisco at 10%. Ottawa has a well-educated population. More than 43% of the population have an undergraduate degree. So I'm going to the second part of my presentation. So I define life science sector that including biopharmaceutical, medical devices, and digital health. So there are approximately 134 companies in that sector, and it employs around more than 6,200 people. Most of the companies are in medical devices. We have 68 of them, followed by the digital health at 40 and 26 on the biopharmaceutical side. 60% of the employment comes from the medical device side. And there's approximately 6,400 health researchers within 2 universities and within the 6 hospital research institute. I will discuss now a bit the innovation landscape. So, as I mentioned, there's 6 research hospitals in the region. So the biggest one is the Ottawa Hospital, and it was also one of the largest hospitals in Canada. There's 2,257 researchers. They have spun off more than 9 companies in the last few years. They have 5 key programs: cancer therapeutics, clinical epidemiology, chronic diseases, neurosciences, and regenerative medicine. I will discuss later at the end of my presentation the cancer therapeutic program and the regenerative medicine program. I want to also highlight that there's a new campus that will be built at Ottawa Hospital. It's a $2.5 billion investment, and they will focus on neurosciences, and it's supposed to open in 2027 or 2028. It will be an increase of research space by 40%. So it's a substantial investment in the region. I want to also mention about the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario, CHEO, which is one of the largest pediatric centers in Canada. and there's more than 2,900 medical staff, and we serve 500,000 children per year. They have three main programs, one on molecular biomedicine, health information technologies, and evidence to practice. I will mention that CHEO is very strong in orphan diseases. And also I want to mention that CHEO and the Ottawa Hospital, they not only serve the Ottawa region, but they also serve the Eastern Ontario, Western Quebec, Nunavut, and Northern Ontario. There's also, of course, I have to mention also the Ottawa Heart Institute, which is one of the largest heart center in Canada. And there are 190 researchers. And so their research priorities are in precision medicine, discovery to translate innovation, big data and artificial intelligence, and healthy, diverse population. They're very strong, I would say, in big data and artificial intelligence, and in particular in cardiac imaging. The other one is the Bruyère Institute, which is one of the largest. They have one of the largest academic palliative care unit in Canada, and they focus on stroke and geriatric rehabilitation. And they have a very strong program on digital health. In fact, they have even like a lab, an apartment, which has different sensors to help elderly people or people that need some rehabilitation. And those sensors includes artificial intelligence to figure out, for example, probability of someone falling. So it's they're very strong in digital health. The Montfort Hospital. So the Montfort Hospital is ranked among the top 40 research hospitals in the last 4 years. They employ 1,800 employees. They have 3 programs, but I want to mention in particular they're very strong in using artificial intelligence to understand the treatment and the prevention of obesity and related metabolic disorders. The other one is the sixth one is the Royal Mental Health Center, as the name says it. It's a center dedicated to mental health, and they focus on sleep disorders, schizophrenia, mood disorders, and neuromodulation. And they have a brain imaging center, and within that center they have a PET MRI imaging system to study the brain, which is unique in Canada. So we have two main universities, so University of Ottawa and Carleton University. So the University of Ottawa, their Faculty of Medicine is ranked one of the top medical schools in Canada. There's more than 3,000 faculty members, and they have discovered different therapeutics and Duchenne muscular dystrophy, neurodegenerative diseases, cancer, heart and vascular diseases. They are ranked 3rd in Canada for research intensity and impact, and that the University of Ottawa plays a key role in the health space. They are connected within the 6 research hospitals I just mentioned, and they have 4 research priorities: brain and mind, cardiovascular and vascular health, infection, immunity and inflammation, and epidemiology and public health. The Carleton universities plays a little less role, but they're very strong in engineering and within the medical device space. So they have a medical physics institute, and they also have an institute for biomedical engineering. They have two key programs, one on neurosciences and health science. And I should mention also the two colleges, which plays also a key role in life sciences. One is the Cité, which offer a bachelor degree in biotechnology. They're usually 20 to 25 students that graduate per year. And what's in particular interesting with the Cité is that they have a wet lab facility. So they provide access to local companies to have access to their different lab equipment. So there's currently 6 companies in that facility. And Algonquin College, they have a biotechnology program, but I should mention that they're very strong in digital health. They have a health and wellness research center that provides services for digital health companies that wants to develop their products there or their solution. So, as I mentioned, the two largest research institutes for research in life sciences is the University of Ottawa and the Ottawa Hospital Research Institute, which is part of the Ottawa Hospital. Those two institutes represent 75% of the total research funding. So they are the two anchors, I would say, on innovation within our region. And people are sometimes not aware about the clinical trial, but Ottawa is a top clinical trial center in Canada. In February 13, for example, there was 987 active clinical trials. If you compare to the other region in Canada, Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver, we have less. But if you look at per capita, we are above the average. And I should mention about the whole of the National Research Council. So the National Research Council is headquarters in Ottawa. They have two main specialty, I would say. One is on digital technologies research, which has 35 machine learning experts. And one of the key programs they're working is to support molecular modeling for vaccine and biologics. And the other program is the vaccine and immunotherapies program, which they're quite strong in developing novel carriers to go through the blood-brain barrier. And so they have licensed that technology, the carrier, to big pharmas, for example, to AstraZeneca, MedImmune, and Biogen. And they also have developed some vaccine. One is Ebola vaccine, which was licensed to a Chinese company called Sinopharma. And they have another program, the antibody program. And within the antibody program, they develop single domain antibodies. And the point I want to mention is within the NRC, they have a biosafety level 3 lab, which is one of the key unique center in Canada. I'm not sure, but I think there's maybe 4 or 5 in Canada. So now we're going to talk about the key area of strengths. So one is on the biopharmaceutical. So we could consider Ottawa as a global hub and in viral vectors and oncolytic viruses. And we have also a strong innovation capacity in regenerative medicine. So we have over 50 researchers working on developing viral vectors and oncolytic viruses. If you look at the number of publications, there's around 145 publications. And so oncolytic viruses. So if you look at per capita, we're at par with, for example, a number of publications within monoclonal antibodies, but within the oncolytic viruses, we're maybe 13 to 20 times more productive compared to other cities. I look at the time, and I will go a bit faster. So one of the things I want to mention that within the Ottawa Hospital Research Institute, there's a biotherapeutic manufacturing center, and there's a virus manufacturing center facility, which is at biosafety level 2, and it's they develop viruses for clinical phase 1 and 2, and it is GMP compliant with European and FDA standards, and it's a unique facility in Canada. And we also have a cell manufacturing facility, and based on those two expertise, they have developed one key program is on chemical antigen receptor (CAR-T) program, which is it's the first made in Canada CAR-T research program, and also very strong in gene therapy. So a few spin-off that came from the Ottawa Hospital. One is Turnstone Biologics, which is renowned. They develop Oncolytic viruses, and they had two license agreement, one with AbbVie and Biopharmaceuticals, which is worth $1 billion each, depending on the number of the milestones they reach. Another company is called Verica, which developed small molecules to increase the efficacy of viruses. And also it could be used to increase the manufacturing yield and producing viruses. Another company called Genvia, which provide services in the design of viruses for cancer immunotherapy, therapy, and vaccine. And within the cell-based therapies, there's 3 spin-offs that are very interesting. Norton Therapeutics, which develop gene therapy and stem cells. Sorry, I won't go in detail because of the time. And the other one is Satellos Biosciences, which is involved in Duchenne muscular dystrophy. The third one is Epilogic Therapeutics that develop drugs to turn genes on and off. So within the medical devices space, we're very strong in point of care and diagnostics. There's more than 1,800 people that are part of it. This is due to the fact that Ottawa has a very strong base in semiconductor and photonics. And also because also within that space, they're supported by different contract manufacturers. And for example, Sectronic, Flex, Amina, and also we have a number of design firms in that space. So. And there's Abbott Point of Care, Siemens Healthineers, which both of them develop handheld blood analyzers. And there's the company OraSure Technologies that acquired DNA Genetic. So those 3 companies, they have a presence here because they have acquired local companies. And I should mention Spartan Bioscience, which is involved in cardiovascular as a DNA test. And now they're involved in COVID-19, and there's 2 others like AVIC Diagnostics and Delta DNA. Another strong area in the medical device sector is the nuclear medicine. So that's back in 1950s with the Atomic Energy of Canada, and because of the NRU reactor. So they were leading a supplier of medical isotope, and Nordion was one of the leaders in that space, but now the trigger Norton per se doesn't exist anymore. Now it's part of Sodera, but it has breakdown and 3 other companies, 4 companies. So one is Best Electronics, which develops cyclotron and radiotherapy, and the one BWX Technologies, which develop medical isotopes, and Boston Scientific has acquired a Nordion radiotherapy treatment for liver cancer. Within the digital health space, there are approximately 40 digital health companies. Like I said, they're very diverse, so they offer different solutions in different areas of multiple health, patient engagement, clinical workflow. But I would say all of them are very strong in artificial intelligence or machine learning. And that's also supported the fact that there's around 560 software companies in Ottawa. So there's a lot of know-how in that space. And we have another area that very strong is in cybersecurity because of the presence of defense sector. There's more than 100 companies and located in Ottawa. And one of key areas very, very strong in digital health is, I would say, is mobile health. And so within that space, this is due because of 90% of the R&D and telecommunication comes from Ottawa. So there's a lot of expertise in that space. There's a lot of big presence from the large telecom companies like Ciena, Cisco System. And here's a few companies I just mentioned. I will not go through it. And so I just want to highlight with the Ottawa Hospital, the Ottawa Hospital has an interest of building an innovation center within the hospital, and Invest Ottawa is supporting that endeavor. So that model is based on the Sheba Medical Center in Israel, which is one of the largest hospitals in Israel. And the focus area on personalized medicine, telehealth, visualization medicine, and business and healthcare. We had our first like a pilot project on digital health, a pre-accelerator program. So we had 16 participants that participated in that program, and that was during the winter 2020 before COVID-19. There's another MedTech accelerator that just was launched in July 2020, which was originated by LSpark, which is a software accelerator. And is basically the goal is to support companies in developing connected medical devices aligned with the security standards. And it's based on a platform that TELUS, BlackBerry, SOLAS, and the Canadian Internet Registration Authority has built. And it's eligible. Who are eligible is Cold State companies, which has a Canadian headquarters. So just I mentioned a few innovation was happening in COVID-19. There's a company called VBI Vaccine that received recently $56 million from the federal government to develop a COVID-19 vaccine. So VBI Vaccine and Turnstone Biologics are the two main players in biopharmaceutical. Veka also is involved to help companies to increase their manufacturing yield to develop COVID-19 vaccine. And Ottawa Hospital also is developing their own viral vaccine. And the University of Ottawa also is developing a drug delivery system using nasal spray for viral vaccine. And there's a few companies that are developing treatments in the region. Orion Biotechnologies are using their platform based on chemokine analogs to treat SARS-CoV-2 infections. And there's a company called GN Nova Pharma, which was created this year. And they're developing a drug. It's a peptide designed to deliver high affinity decoy to trap and block the viruses. And there's Tetra Biopharma that's developing synthetic cannabinoid drug to reduce the flow, the inflammation due to the virus. And Ottawa Hospital is developing stem cells to reduce the immune response. Sorry that I have to go fast in my slides. So within the monitor and diagnostics space, I mentioned Abbott and Siemens Healthineers, their product has, the demand for their product has increased because it's used to monitor the health of the patients. Spartan Biosciences has developed a COVID-19 point of care diagnostic rapid test and is targeting an approval from Health Canada mid-fall. DNA Genetech is working with Ottawa Hospital and the University of Ottawa to develop a cellular-based COVID-19 test. Oscil Sciences, based on their acoustic technology, is developing a touchless stethoscope system that will allow medical staff to listen to heart and lung sound near the patient. So again, preventing them to catch the viruses. And Bruyère Corporation, Bruyère Medical Corporation, based on their sleep apnea platform, They're partnering with the NRC to develop a low-cost medical device that can monitor the blood pressure at different parameters like blood oxygen levels from the patient. So there's a lot of innovations happening. So last slide on digital health. So Iotonics and Tricycle has developed a telemedicine solution for physicians to connect with patients. And Macadamian has developed a mobile app to allow employees to access their health status for the Bruyère Hospital. NBA Medical has also developed a mobile app for companies to screen their employees for COVID-19 symptoms. And I want to mention about Can Immunize, which is working with Ottawa Hospital to build a platform to monitor potential adverse events related to COVID-19 vaccine. So that's it. So I'm a bit over the time. Thank you very much for attending my presentation.
Thank you, Kim, and appreciate that fascinating overview of the cluster in Ottawa. Really some great things happening, exciting things happening in Ottawa. For those participants on the line, if you have a question for Kim, you can write it in the chat box to the right. I may have time for one or two, but if we don't get to them, we can always follow up afterwards. Kim, just really quickly, you're in Ottawa. You said there's a strong federal government presence there. I know right now there's a lot of angst within our life sciences community here in the Greater Toronto area, and I think across Ontario, around some federal policies that are developing around drug pricing. Of course, there's national pharmacare has sort of come up again in the most recent throne speech. There's obviously a shifting of resources towards the pandemic. Just wondering if you could maybe comment on, what's the sense within the Ottawa community, life sciences community, as it relates to these federal policies that are sort of, underway that are going to impact the life sciences sector broadly?
Yes, I think that the focus now, and I feel when I talk with the companies, it's like it's really to develop solution to address the COVID-19. There's no talk about the pricing policy, for example, yet. I think they focus mainly to find solution with the current pandemic. After that, probably they will go back to those policies that were starting to be in place, and that could hurt the sector. But I think also it may change also maybe the focus, because what's happening with the COVID-19, maybe that I think the federal government is realizing that where Canada is, and we don't have our own suppliers, and so we're at risk with the change. You could see that with the PPEs, for example, even for the vaccines. They provide some contracts here, like one's VBI vaccine, but you have one in Medicago, for example, but we don't have like J&J or Pfizer. Their vaccines are developed in Canada, and there's also other suppliers, like for example, just for VTM. So the vial transport media, for example, for the viruses, it's very simple. For the COVID-19, for example, the supply to do it's done outside of Canada. So you could imagine it comes from the United States. So again, if the demand, if their supply mainly go to the US, so we're at risk if that we won't receive any BTMs, for example, or it'll be more difficult to get those type of products. So I think it may have a shift within the federal government that we're at risk. So we may change some policies.
That's great, Kim. I suspect you still have to rethink some of these things too in light of COVID-19. Yeah. So I guess one of the silver linings of a pandemic is bringing focus to the needs of a sector like life sciences. Kim, I want to thank you very much for taking the time today and sharing with us what's happening in Ottawa. We are past our time, so I want to say a quick thank you to our sponsor from today, which is U of T Scarborough. And Brian, you've got a short video to run.
We're here to help your organization find the best co-op students. Students at the University of Toronto. Scarborough are the most prepared for the co-op experience. They are among the highest achieving, well-prepared, and taught by global experts in their field. Our program offers flexible options of 4, 8, or 12-month work terms, allowing you to choose a duration that best suits your organization. We offer a simple, supportive recruitment and hiring service. All you need to do is send us the job description, choose your favorite candidates, and conduct interviews. We'll promote the jobs to our students, organize the interview details, coordinate the offers, and handle the rest. Whether you are looking to hire students or learn more about the benefits of co-op, we are here to help.
Again, thank you to University of Toronto Scarborough Arts and Science Co-op Program for sponsoring today's session. And a quick couple of announcements just before we sign off. A reminder, our awards nominations are open. The deadline is October 5th, so please put in your nominations for the awards this year. Our annual Life Sciences Policy Forum is coming up the first week of November, really shaping up to be an incredible agenda. You can check out the full agenda on our website. You can sign up for the full week sessions. They're going to be each day between 10:30 and noon. Or if there's one particular day that you like, you can just sign up for a single day session as well. So lots of options there to join us. And finally, a big thank you to all of our sponsors, our platinum sponsors, Alexion, Sanofi, Shift Health, Silicon Valley Bank, Innovative Medicines Canada, and Merck. Our gold sponsors, Taiho Pharma, Biotalent Canada, and Mary, Horizon, Antibody, and Stryker. And our silver sponsors, E&Y, University of Toronto Scarborough, Arts and Science Co-op, Roche, BDO, and CRB. And I'd like to thank all of you for attending our second day of our roadshow. Please join us again tomorrow as we visit Hamilton. Lots of great things happening in the Hamilton region. So please join us again for that. Happy National Biotech Week to everyone. Please stay safe and vigilant during these challenging times, and hope to see you again tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.